Hey everybody, wanted to make a quick video on showing how I would use the Harvest, Craft, Sacrifice up to half a stack of Divination cards to receive between 0 and twice that amount. If you've never seen these before, basically what it is, it's just a gamble. It takes up to half of a stack, a full stack of cards. You don't need a full stack. Say you're gambling Doctors, you need 8 for a Headhunter. You can put up to 4 into the station, and it'll take those cards and it'll do anything from delete all of them, it can double all of them, or it can do anywhere in between from add a few cards, subtract a few cards, subtract one card, add one card. So exactly as it says in the statement, you can receive between 0 and twice. So basically, from all the my experience with this Harvest Craft and with the videos I've seen, it's pretty much a 50-50 shot of you either gaining cards or losing cards. So there's really you really aren't essentially at an advantage or at a disadvantage of using these cards. It's literally just a straight up 50-50 gamble. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So, yeah, that's how it kind of goes. So why am I making this video? I'm making this video to kind of explain how to use these gambles strategically in a way where you can maximize profits but minimize losses. So you may be thinking, well, how do you do that if it's straight 50-50? Well, yes, that can't be changed. It is always going to be more or less a 50-50 as far as I know, and there's no way to change that. However, what you do have control of is what you put in. And I wanted to talk about a number of cards that I would think, that I personally believe are actually quite, that put this gambling craft, they put you in a position of a bit of an advantage because depending on what card you put in, it will minimize your losses if the card gets deleted, and it can potentially really maximize your profits if you um, get a full stack of the cards and are able to turn it in. So I'm going to go through a list of cards here that I was just kind of researching and going through. I was going through the list, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up here the Divination cards on PoE Ninja. And you can see here, let me get this out of the way. You can see here kind of all the lists of the most expensive cards here. Now I'm going to get to a number of cards that I wrote down that I think are a pretty good gamble for the Harvest Craft. Um, Not any of these ones. These, I think, all these top ones that are extremely expensive, like House of Mirrors Doctor, really, I mean, if you gamble them, I mean, more power to you. They are really only for people who have an extreme amount of currency to lose. And I would say that if your net worth isn't over 200 to 300 exalts, you really shouldn't even think about trying to gamble any of these kind of top 5 cards here, because it's just there's really, if you lose them, you lose a significant chunk of your like net worth. So I don't recommend any of these kind of really expensive cards. One little side note, crazy story. I sold 4 divination card gambles to a guy. He ended up doing House of Mirrors, um, and I ended up making him like 1 mirror. I think two of the stacks. He gave me a stack of 2 and then 3 stacks of 4. The first stack of 2 got deleted, but then the 3 stacks of 4 I think was a double, double, and a +3. So I made this guy like nearly a mirror in selling the Harvest Craft. Which, by the way, also important to note that you can sell these Harvest Divination card gambles on the Forbidden Trove for roughly 50 chaos each. That's also something to consider if you just don't feel like gambling at all. You always have the option of just selling the craft for about 50 chaos. So now, which cards do I recommend to gamble? The first one is Love Through Ice. Why? And you're going to see a common theme between all the cards that I am picking here. So why do I recommend Love Through Ice? Number one, it's a relatively cheap card. 3.3 exalts is not really a lot of currency. It's it's not a little, but if the card gets deleted, it's not really a lot. It's not a big hit to your overall net worth of your character or the amount of currency you have. And the next reason why I picked it, you can see it only requires 4 cards. So you only need 4 cards to get a full stack that you can turn in. Now, what's significant about that is the turn in has a wide range of either being decent, or you can get some kind of incredibly good outcome that you can sell for a lot of money. So in this case, if you hit like Corrupted Blood, if you hit a reduced mana reservation, that's pretty much a big jackpot. And you can see here, even if you hit some kind of bad corruption, you're pretty much guaranteed to still make a lot of your currency back. You can see that actually even the corrupts alone go for more money than the regulars. And you can see that, oh yeah, obviously the best one, Corrupted Blood, Reduced Reservation of Skills. This would probably be the best one, going for 75 results. So that's my number one. Is the Love Through Ice. Only 4 cards, only 3 exalts a card, with the potential, if you manage to get a full stack, you can get a crazy jewel worth anywhere from, who knows, 20 to 70 exalts. So that's my first card that I would recommend gambling. Next card I recommend is the Cheater. Why do I recommend the Cheater? Kind of actually same reasons as Love Through Ice. Also, relatively cheap card, only 3 exalts. If you lose a card or two, it's not really the end of the world. It's only 3 to 6x. It's a bit of a hit, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not too big of a deal. However, what's nice about the Cheater is, again, it's only 3 cards. However, it's only 3 cards, so if you manage to hit 2 of the gambles and you gain 2 cards, that's it. You can turn the deck in with the potential of getting an insane jewel. However, with this one, you do have to keep in mind that you can actually lose money, because if you get something like an awakened blasphemy or an awakened, I don't know what's another bad one, like minion damage, um, you might actually end up not making as much profit. So with the Cheater, it's a little bit more of a gamble if you decide to turn in the cards. But of course, you always have the option of just selling the cards. So you still, if you were to hit the gamble, you would still just sell the cards. You do have that option. With something like Love Through Ice, you pretty much always just might as well turn it in, because you can make something crazy. The next good one to turn in is Deadly Joy. This is also a great one to turn in for the same reasons. Only 2.5 exalts, relatively cheap card. I actually ended up turning in 2 of these, and unfortunately both of them got deleted. So ended up losing 5 exalts. But with Torrents Reclamation, it's kind of the same idea as Love Through Ice. You can potentially just get a really, really good belt. And again, not a high turn-in amount, so 6. Higher than the other ones, but still not crazy. So if you're, say, to turn in, if you say you're gambling like 3 of them, you definitely have the potential to make a full stack and turn it in. And if they get deleted, it's not the end of the world, because it's only 2.5 exalts. But you can make a belt worth 50 to 100x. And I think recently on Reddit there was that one clip, or that one screenshot of the guy that sold some kind of crazy one for like 600 exalts or something. So Deadly Joy is definitely also a potentially really good card to gamble. Now, my last one is going to be Gift of the Asenath. This one was also a great one to gamble for the exact same reasons. It's only a stack of 5, and you can potentially get something really good from the card if you do decide to turn him in. Very cheap, only 200 chaos. That's only like 1.3x or something. Yeah, it's about like 1.3 exalts. So super cheap. If you delete them, again, nothing really happens. You just lose an exalt in half. Doesn't really matter. And potentially can end up with a pair of gloves that's just kind of crazy. Again, also a low card count, so wouldn't really take a lot to potentially turn it in and get some kind of good gloves. And I think Asenath's Gentle Touch, also corrupted, no matter really what it is, they still generally sell for the price of a non-corrupted pair. Because generally the whatever you corrupt, it doesn't hinder a build in any way. It only helps. So yeah. So Gift of the Asenath, Deadly Joy, Left Through Ice, and the Cheater, I think, are all great potential gambles with a high possibility of, well, not a high, but a pretty decent possibility of a potentially really expensive outcome, and with relatively little investment. Again, you're only investing anywhere between 3 exalts to an exalt and a half. Unlike something like House of Mirrors, where every card is over 20x, and if you were to delete 4 of them, I mean, that's an 80 exalt hit, which is just, that's pretty gut wrenching. And the thing is if you do end up doubling them, you can't make any exponentially greater amount of money because a mirror is always going to be worth a mirror. A headhunter is always going to be worth a headhunter. Demon is a little different because it is, again, a 2 implicit corrupted. However, I don't recommend this one just because of the fact that with the headhunter corrupts, they're a little bit more risky. There's a lot of bad belt corrupts, and if you don't hit a good one, you generally you kind of lose out a little bit. And then demons are also 16 exalts each, so that's why I don't really recommend demon either. Same reason for the fiend. It's also 14 exalts each, which is pretty expensive for a 50-50 gamble, and it's just it's not something I would really try to corrupt. Everything else, it's just a flat amount of currency, so no potential chance for an exponentially greater priced reward. So wouldn't really recommend these. But again, Left Through Ice, Cheater, Deadly Joy, and Gift of the Asenath, I think, are some great options at potentially really exploding your profits and minimizing your risks when you do the harvest gamble. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys kind of got something out of it. If you have any questions, again, please leave a comment down below, and I will at some point also do another update video to my build because I don't know if you saw there in my inventory, some things did change with the build, so I'll get to that at some point. But anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you guys all for watching.